Let's continue exploring the universe within art and the art behind farming. I'm your host, OmLedu, and in this video, we're going to look at the easiest way for you to farm music discs. Now, of course, this only works with the original music discs because there is no way to farm all the fancy ones that have been added through updates. And best of all, this farm is super cheap and easy to build. You technically only need the stuff in the very top row. You just need like a handful of blocks, a name tag, 2 pressure plates, preferably stone, and then 4 pistons. But if you want to make it easy on yourself and want some quality of life upgrades, I would just go ahead and bring all of the stuff that you see here. The way this works is that anytime a creeper is killed by a skeleton, it will drop a music disc. So we just need to capture a couple of them and we'll be good to go. And I promise that capturing them is not as difficult as it may sound. Just be sure not to get too close or the creeper will explode. And stick around after the build tutorial where I'll be going over more tips on how to speed up the process of collecting the creepers. And if you wanted even better rates, you could always hook this up to a creeper only farm. But I will say that that is a ton of extra work. And since there's only a handful of discs, if you just want a full set for yourself, I would definitely recommend just using this method. The first thing to think about before building this is where you want it to be located. Ideally, you want a fairly flat area so that it's easy for you to drag the mobs around. It's also nice to build this somewhere where mobs won't get stuck underground, such as over the ocean. But once you decide where you want to build it, all we're going to do is place 4 pistons in the ground facing up, surrounding a solid block. Then on top of that solid block, we're going to place a stone pressure plate. Then on all 4 of the corners, we're going to place 2 fences. You could use solid blocks if you want to. I just like using fences because it's easier to see through them, to see where the mob is that we're trying to trap. But then we're going to place 9 blocks on top of these, and that's it. Now, whenever a mob steps on that pressure plate, it will become trapped. So you can either go capture a skeleton now, if you want to recycle the 4 pistons that we just used, or you can go ahead and build another one of these 1 block away from our original one. And you build it exactly the same. 4 pistons, a pressure plate, fences, and then blocks on top. And whenever you're ready, now it's time to go capture us a skeleton. So all we have to do is look around, find a skeleton, get close enough so that he targets us, and then just start backing up back toward our chambers. Now if you accidentally trap yourself, luckily with crawl mode now, you can just crawl out. But all we have to do is lure him over here and get him to step on the pressure plate. Once it does, it will become trapped. Now we just need to place blocks or fences on top of the pistons so that it can't just keep shooting us. It doesn't matter what you use. Personally, I like using fences because it kind of looks like a cage. And we're getting snuck up on by a creeper. That's not good. You know, you always have to be careful when messing with this farm because you probably want to build it somewhere in the dark so that mobs will spawn. But now the last thing we need to do is place a trapdoor on top of this front block right here so that we can open and close it. You know, keep it closed when we don't want him to shoot us, and then open it up when we need him to shoot the creepers. We also need to name tag him so that he doesn't despawn. Give him a fancy name so that he doesn't disappear. We wouldn't want to do that all over again. But now all that's left is to capture a creeper. You know, all we have to do is same way, just lure the creeper onto the pressure plate, be sure not to get too close, and the creeper will become trapped. Now all we have to do is open the trap door and move to where when the skeleton tries to shoot us, it ends up hitting the creeper. So we just stand on this side and let the skeleton shoot at that creeper. Now one thing you can do to make this a little safer is just add a block right there with 5 dust on top of this and a lever. That way you can actually open and close the trap door from the correct position rather than having to go in here and poke the trap door and risk the creeper blowing up or risk the skeleton shooting at you. You know, now with this lever, it will just open and close that trap door. And like I mentioned earlier, once you capture a skeleton, you could, if you want to, go ahead and recycle these 4 pistons. You know, just break them out and switch them with a fence or a block. Since he's name tagged, he should never go anywhere, so we shouldn't need that trap anymore. And if you don't want the danger or limitation of using this at night, you can always build a spawning area for mobs. Just like a basic platform floating above the ground to create a dark spot will do perfectly. Then all you have to do is lure the creepers out. All the other mobs will catch on fire in the sunlight like they do, but the creepers won't. You know, especially if you're playing on realms or servers, when people like to sleep and skip the night all the time, you know, this is a really easy way to still use this farm during the day. Now it may be tempting to poke the creeper a few times to speed up the process, because the skeleton can be a little slow to kill it, and you totally can. Just be really careful that you don't get too close for too long, or the creeper will explode. An unenchanted diamond sword will take 3 hits to kill a creeper. So, if you want to, while you're dragging the creeper back, you can hit it 2 times with your sword. This also gives you good practice at fighting creepers. Going in, taking a hit, backing up. Going in, taking a hit, and backing up. And once you've hit him twice, then the skeleton will only have to hit him with 2 arrows in order to kill the creeper. This will speed up the process dramatically. All in all, if you want to build a spawning area so that you can use it during the day, or if you just want to use it at night, that is totally up to you. Like I mentioned before, if you build this over the ocean, having a spawning area will make this super duper fast. Not only will it be flat, so it'll be easy to drag the mobs around and there won't be anywhere for them to hide, but there also won't be any caves underground for the mobs to spawn in. So if you build a spawning platform up here, it gets really great spawns. It just poops out mobs, so you can just constantly load in creepers. As soon as the skeleton kills one, another one will have spawned under your platform. And all it requires is you just building a platform on top of the water, and then building a platform above that to create a dark spot. And one way that I like to fill in water, if I don't have the blocks, I'll use a lava bucket to just turn the water into stone. But that's all we got for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. And be sure to let me know that you were here by leaving a comment. Tell me what you did or didn't like about the video. If you have any questions or requests, I will do my best to help you out. Or if you don't know what to say, just tell me hi. I would love to hear from you. I hope to see you again soon, but until then, I've been your host, OmLedu, sharing some farming tricks with you. And reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.